I look at this like we travel around the world. You see so many peaks and mountains and valleys, and it's like we all have built up this our own mountain, in this basketball world, and it's like it's gonna be hard for anybody to like knock that down. You see what I'm saying? And you got these other guys that are building. They're in the valleys right now, but they're trying to build their mountains up as well. So we sit on our own mountains in this world of basketball, and we want to continue to keep building, but at the same time, you see the guys that are coming up and building their own place in the game as well, and you appreciate that about the game. You know how hard it is to sit on that peak and mountain that you're on as well, So it's a matter of continue to give back to the game and continue to see where the growth of the game is going, but also realize, like, I built up my place here too, you know what I mean? And it's pretty cool knowing that we get respect from the younger generation, but they want to get up to where we are too. So, but we still working, we still here, we still grinding, and we still want to be who we are for as long as we can.
But the understanding is that they are definitely going to explore the trade market to some of these teams around the league that might want a young guard like Jalen Green, because obviously doesn't play super well alongside Devin Booker, doesn't really fit their timeline as a 23-year-old, and this is a franchise that wants to keep Devin Booker happy over the next couple of seasons so that he doesn't request a trade. And so ultimately, I would be surprised if Jalen Green was on the Rockets roster when the season starts, but even if he was, I still think it's a pretty good piece to have depending on how he performs in a new situation. There's a possibility here where that contract looks really, really tough over the next couple of years, but ultimately I think it's a positive asset, and they're going to be able to either get something out of him, or he's going to be a nice piece for Phoenix. The Dillon Brooks part of this is interesting as well. It's going to help them in an immediate sense alongside Devin Booker. Also a guy that if things go really poorly and Booker asks out or something, Dillon Brooks is going to be worth something to some of these teams around the league that need that competitiveness and that 3-and-D role player type guy. And so ultimately, it's not terrible compensation in exchange for 36, 37-year-old Kevin Durant with some injury issues over the last couple of seasons and an expiring contract. Ultimately, this is the position that Phoenix put themselves in when they went all in with this group and it didn't work out. And then they tried to trade KD at the trade deadline, and then that didn't work. They just put themselves in a position where they didn't have basically any leverage in these trade conversations. Durant could dictate where he wanted to go, and ultimately, that's why teams like Houston didn't feel the need to raise their offer in any kind of meaningful way. And that's how he ends up in Houston.
Remember in 2012, we had just lost to y'all in the finals, and I had came to Miami just work out, hang out before the season, and that was just all I was on, looking at the arena damn. You know what I'm saying? They good though. You know what I'm saying? I got to bring my A game every game, and then you looking at the box score, you want to match what these dudes do. For sure. It's not I want what they have. I want to knock them out their spot, or I know they're elite. You can't knock these guys out of nowhere. But I want Brian 30, 10, and 9. I'm all right, let me see what I can do tomorrow. I don't know, selfish thing, not trying to get in the way of the game, but I know that I got so much impact on my team in the game. I want to keep us at that level too. Same with Steph. You see him make 7, 8 threes in a game and end up with 39 points, 8 assists. It's just all right, I got to come with it too. And that's how you push and driving one another without being on the same team, but without it being a feud or anything. It's just I want to be on that same level. I want to stay on that elite level as long as I can, because I see them doing it every night.
From Kevin Durant, one of the most gifted scorers this game has ever seen.
Most valuable player, back-to-back finals MVP.
15th All-Star game.
30,000 career points.
With all the accolades he has, still has a chip.
Y'all know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant.
Let him with the pass.
KD, 3-ball, corner pocket. Şengün with a monster dunk. Durant upstairs. Oh my goodness.
KD, tough shot. Şengün to Durant, gets to the rim. This is fun basketball.
Yeah, it's just, like you said, it's a nerve-wracking feeling, because you know what you're thinking and how you want to approach the game, and you got some psychos on the other end that's trying to rip your heart out too, and you got to build up that dislike for, guys you're competing against, not in a bad way, but when you're out on the floor, you can't be friends, you can't be cool with these guys, you can't admire them while you're on the court. After the game's over, and that's cool, but when you're on the floor with these guys, they out to rip your heart out. That's what I love about these guys, because they nice dudes, but they killers too, and that's why they still at the level that we're at, because you got that type of mentality. And it's a dog-eat-dog world in the NBA. You know what I mean? And especially when you're at that level of greatness, like, you don't want nobody to take anything that you got. And that's the type of respect that you have for the game, but that's going to always keep that elite level, you know, when you want to run up against these guys. And, you know, that fire is they'll never lose that fire. And that's, you know, that's what you want as a competitor.
That's why we still going.
Exactly.
That's why we still going. You don't have that burning feeling like in your stomach or in your nerves, like before you.
Hey, Kevin, how many points you gonna drop tonight? Hey, right here, you going for 50? Hey, I bet you can't get 81 like Kobe.
How much dick riding you gonna do?
I was bored by the shit, made a baby. Now fuck that bitch in the trees. Now fuck that bitch in the field. Made me so damn mad, made me feel it. I want that time.
Durant on the attack. Banks it in. Nothing is too tough.
Years of just hearing these guys talk, hearing Bron talk coming up, and he always emphasized keeping the main thing. And you see how much balance, you know, these guys have with their lives. I don't have kids and a family and a wife, but these guys, we all businessmen, we all doing things off the floor. But to still get up to go to the gym at 6 a.m., to still want to put up 1,000 shots every day, to still love the game the way you love it with all the distractions that's being thrown at you, the high expectations from everybody around you. But to keep that joy and love for the game first is something that I admire. And that's what's keeping me going, keeping all of us going. You know, there's that love of the game, and that shines bright every time you see them step on the floor. And then when you see them as teammates and how they prepare for those games, it just brings a smile to my face because, you know, these guys are pushing, we all pushing the game forward. You know, we at the point of our careers where, you know, we got, you know, guys that were kids when we were first coming in, now they're grown-ups, and we helped them, you know, at some point inspired them throughout their lives to want to be NBA players, and then you see that full circle, and we still here with them. Son playing on the same team, you know. Like you said, Ant was 12, 13 years old probably when he seen me play for the first time, and then to hoop with these guys and still be at that level, you know, it's cool, but that's from just keeping the main thing.
Do you have burner accounts?
Yes.
Fave dog breed?
Cane Corso.
Aww. What's your most prized possession?
My life.
Nighttime routine?
Sleep.
Guilty pleasure?
Video games.
Do you have a pregame ritual?
No.
What have you been watching the most since you've been out?
YouTube.
Who do you text the most?
Team group chat.
What's been your favorite age?
34.
Some of the greats ever played this game and be able to just be around them, see how they work, how they prepare. You know, and then it all goes down to just one common goal, and that's just winning the gold medal. So, you know, it's pretty dope.
You know, you see these guys come up, you know, from high school. You see him in college, grind up to be who they are right now, and the stamina that you had to still be in the league for 20 years. What's that, 14, 15 for you?
Just going into 16.
16,
yeah.
You know, and that love of the game will keep these guys, you know, getting up in the morning, and that's inspiring to everybody, not just basketball players, but everybody from all walks of life, you know. So it's just a joy being around people like that.